Hello, welcome back to Global Business Europe. Tesla has assured its customers that privacy is enormously important to the company, following claims that staff have been sharing videos recorded on owners' car cameras. Former workers at the electric car maker told Reuters news agency that among the videos shared were images of a man approaching his car naked and a Tesla hitting a child riding a bicycle. Neither the company nor its CEO, Elon Musk, have commented. Let's talk to Jim Holder, the editorial director of What Car and Autocar magazines. Jim, just talk us through technically how this happens without scaring us with all the software stuff.
Absolutely. So Teslas, in common with many cars, have cameras all over them to help with things like when you're reverse parking. But Tesla uses these cameras as well, like a dash cam, to record what's going on around the car. And in particular, it has a mode called Sentry mode. So when your car is parked, it will start recording if anyone approaches the car or even touches the car. So it's able to capture these images. They are meant to be private, of course, and that appears not to have been the case, at least in the past.
So all of these images clearly are being uploaded back to the mothership.
Yeah, it appears so. So certainly we know from 2022 onwards there was a clear directive that that wouldn't be the case. And Tesla has in the past issued reassurances to owners that there wouldn't be any beaming back of the images back to base. But that has to be questioned now, obviously. If these images are being shared among Tesla employees almost as a joke, then that raises very serious privacy concerns.
Didn't if I remember right, the Dutch, the German and the Chinese authorities raise concerns about what you call the Sentry mode? I mean, why hasn't the company done anything about that if they knew about this already?
Tesla likes to push the envelope. It's created a brand off the back of pushing technology. Another example might be its claims around its cars being self-driving, when really they're not. You still need to have an element of control of the vehicle, but they push the language and they push the technology further than anyone else. To date, they've got away with it spectacularly, but you're absolutely right. The legislators in countries all around the world are closing in on them, and that does raise concerns for the long-term future. Do they continue being a maverick company that pushes the boundaries, or do they have to enter the mainstream now they're selling so many vehicles and start complying to the sorts of rules and regulations that apply to all other vehicle manufacturers?
What happens next in terms of legal action and data compliance around the world and all that? Are we going to see a load of lawsuits?
I think potentially we are. I think what we'll see is a lot of people trying to find out if their privacy has been breached and then look to the company for some kind of recompense. You know, Tesla is famously the highest valued car company in the world and one of the highest valued companies in the world. People will smell the money if there have been any breaches, and they will pursue it. And we've seen that in other similar cases where car companies have done wrong, that the litigation lawyers soon start circling. So there is potentially a huge problem here, and as privacy is protected to even greater degrees, it would be pretty obvious to expect those lawyers to start looking into this one very closely and seeing if they can pursue claims.
Does it really have any impact on sales? I'm just thinking of the Volkswagen emissions scandals, and the world is horrified by companies lying about the poisons being pumped out by their cars. That didn't seem to do much in terms of sales. I wonder if it's likely that this will impact Tesla's sales in any way.
I think, as always with Tesla, there will be two quite entrenched camps. There are the owners and the would-be owners who feel that they can do no wrong, and there are those who are suspicious and slightly cautious of the way Tesla goes about business who perhaps wouldn't buy their vehicles. But I think really for Tesla, the big issue in comparison to VW is that they're starting to grow beyond that core of enthusiasts who always wanted a Tesla. They want to break into the mainstream. They want to sell millions of cars, not hundreds of thousands of cars. And I think any concerns like this, it just sort of fills that void of concern around the ethics of the company, its owner, and beyond.
Jim, good to talk to you. Thanks very much for coming on the programme again. Jim Holder, the editorial director of What Car and Autocar magazines in London.